Camera. Broadcast is live.
It's good. It's good. My fault.
Look, we're stuck in the system, we can't get out. It's time for a change, stop running your mouth. I'm looking for words, but I can't get it out. Look for the light, but the sun blotted out.
Hold on, let me hop on the beat. Cause social injustice and prisoner mindset is something we gotta defeat. We idle these hoes and wear all these clothes with shoes that can't be creased. Steady looking for substance and change, but we searching all up in these streets.
Got a stain on my shirt that I can't get out. My people on high like the top of the mount. We thirsting for truth, but there's no spout. Look for a savior, but no one around.
But no one's around, but where do they look? It ain't in the church, it ain't in the book. We can't get a job, so we rather crook. They got us in chains, a fish on the hood.
Look, harvesting our bodies, harvesting our organs. Got them real big mad, cause they culture boring. Pimping the poor, Jim Crow at the door. Selling our souls, our daughters a whore. I wanna give in, can't take it no more. Don't wanna believe our people are more.
We swept our cup when we look at decline. We got a new bottle, it's filled with...
Hello, all my MACM people. Welcome to another MACM Make a Culture Move podcast, where we cover everything from intense social topics to funny social experiences. We are your hosts, Mark Jonathan.
Aja.
AJ.
And Tom.
Yes, sir. But my sister G, we give her safe travel. She's on her way over here, you feel me? And be with the family. So whatever case that may be, whatever situation she's in, we just give her prayers and safe travels. But with no further ado, before we get started, if we could have our brief disclaimer.
Yep. So as far as y'all go, you know what I mean, this podcast go, y'all know we represent ourselves as a whole. And so in that, anything we say or do in this situation, if it affects you in a negative way, please don't feel offended, but think about it before you come back. Then you can come back to us personally, one-on-one, however you may feel. And we're more than welcome to discuss anything with y'all. You know, these are intense social topics in our community, and sometimes they just need to be talked about. You know, talking about them helps rather than anything else. So yeah, without that being said, let's get started.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate you. So start off as usual. We're going to go ahead and get our check-ins going. So I'll go ahead and go first since I'm already talking. Blessed to see another day. Can't really complain. You feel me? Excited to get this podcast going. And yeah, I'll pass it to AJ.
My check-in, I'm good. It's Friday. And one of the things with Friday for me is just, you know, heading into a busy weekend. So, you know, I think for me it's good. I was able to change my brake sensor yesterday by myself, which is like if y'all know anything about foreign cars, like the tires, like we don't like when you take off a tire, like there's no like it's in reverse. So like the nut is on the screw too. So like you gotta screw the whole screw and bolts into the actual car, or like the basically by the rotor. So like there's nothing to hook on it. So you have to hold that shit up and everything. So but yeah, I'm good. So
That just sound complicated. Go ahead and
it
pass
is. It is. That shit was hard. I'm not even gonna lie, but I got it done. I'll pass it to Tom.
I'm doing cool. The sun out. I got my daughter, so I'm chilling, really, feeling good. Cause I've been learning that I gotta start setting the pace and like setting the environment that my kids is about to wake up into. So if they wake into like a good environment, a happy and like positive environment, then they're more likely to behave and act good. But if they wake up and shit's chaotic, then they probably more likely to go crazy. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. So I'll pass it to Aja.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm tired as usual. I went to sleep at like 1 and woke up at like 6:50 and been up since. So I'm a little tired. But that's the thing. I don't have a sleep schedule. Like I do that kind of often. I just go to sleep, wake up. I wake up around 7 every day, but for the most part, I go to sleep whenever I fall asleep. So, yeah, that's something that I want to work on. But anyways, I'm doing pretty good.
Bro, I got that same issue. I could fall asleep super late, but I'll always wake up at 7. I don't know what it is. But I appreciate y'all, family. You feel me? Let's go ahead and get into this podcast. So what we got first is, oh, and we're still banned on Facebook. So our views might be a little low, but we gonna definitely see. I think we got like 20 some more days. So yeah,
I
appreciate
forgot
all
all
the
about
rock with us. But yeah,
And when we do come back, we will bring on a guest. We will bring on a guest. Try to get y'all some interest in perspectives from that. So keep that on the lookout.
absolutely. You feel me? So boom, we gonna go ahead and jump into our black affirmations. What you got first?
So it's kind of simple, kind of talked about, I guess, a lot. But mine is just to stay motivated with whatever it is that you want to do. And I found a quote. I don't really know who the author is. It's just like I don't know who the author is, but it says motivation gets you moving and determination keeps you going. So, just keep your goals in your mind, at the forefront of your mind, so that it's easier for you to pursue them. I'm in college, I'm trying to stay motivated, and I'm tempted to take a shortcut almost to, it's not a shortcut to the same career, but it's a shortcut within the medical field in general because I'm not really super school heavy. So I'm just trying to stay motivated and keep, going with my original goal, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, just stay motivated, keep pushing towards what your goals are and don't lose sight of them because I know that that's pretty easy to do. So
100. We appreciate it, shoot, because I know how I was in school. I'm the same way.
Oh God, I feel that shit
Yeah.
though, cause
Um,
that's what they, that's real shit. Cause it's not about how you show up on the days you feeling good. It's about how you show up on the days when you don't feel good. So that determination matters. Cause motivation, you really only gonna be like anything. Like with the gym, most people be motivated the first week. Then after the first week, they
mhm.
be like, damn. So that I be telling myself that too. Like you don't gotta be motivated. You just gotta do it. So yeah, that's a good ass quote.
100. I appreciate you, Aja. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the Black Excellence. I got a couple articles for you all today. The first of which is Mr. Darren Goodman. Um, so he was named the first Black police chief in San Bernardino, California. You feel me? So definitely just good to see some of that energy going around. You people leading in their own communities. Um, so yeah, that's the first one. The second one will be all right. So a Black educator uh, is selling or really giving out workbooks for in specific places. It's Ghana, Haiti, Mexico, and South Korea. So that's just really dope. You feel me? Definitely areas that kind of need some assistance. So giving them workbooks and things like that. Books, utensils for schooling, et cetera, et cetera. Just really dope to see that energy and then using her own success and helping others build theirs. So definitely shout out to her. Her name is Rosa Higgs. And then my last and final, I mean, I guess that's kind of redundant. So my final one is female founder invests 350K in funding a mentorship for 35 Black women entrepreneurs. So her name is Kamika Smith, awarded entrepreneur and founder of the Boss Network, which is an online community of professional entrepreneurial women. Uh, she announced 35 awardees of this investment or this what's it called? Not a grant, but like y'all get what I'm trying to say. So definitely shout out, show some love to 35 women.
Pretty much the
so
funding.
to get on their path to making some of that money back. You feel me? So yeah, those are my three. Something light, but I just love the energy that's going around. A lot of helpfulness. Anything on that, family?
Not the police. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that, but like, yeah,
No, I'm just playing. No, that's what's up. Especially the lady that gave all that bread back.
exactly. All right, so we're gonna continue on with the podcast. Um, we're gonna go ahead and jump into entertainment. I'll take this one kind of more so of a lighter note and like a funny note. But the fact that this Will Smith and Jada situation is still trending and like it's just they picking apart their lives basically, like they going over old interviews and man, just really like painting a bad story. You feel me? Of the both of them. Like I seen one, I think it was a few years back about Will Smith like planning Jada's 40th birthday party, and he planned it for 3 years, right? So she was 37 at the time, and he started planning. And then after all that is done, she told him like this was a ridiculous display of your ego or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, like wow, that's
But hey,
crazy.
that's his fault though, for real though. Cause at the end of the day, you gotta know your girl. If you know she
Yeah,
not gonna like that shit, or if you know she gonna be ungrateful, I'm not spending $1 on that shit. On God. So that's really, so straight up. Really, that was just him. Cause like somebody told me the other day, like gifts, if not kept with the person in mind, is like is like just a way to make the person that's giving feel better about themselves. Like they want other people to be like, damn, look at what he did for. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
cause like me, I'm not a surprise person. But Jada, I was still, oh, I can't say that no more. I would give her a third talking to though. I ain't gonna lie though, cause Jada's out of pocket. There's just some things you don't say in public for real.
Real talk. Now this is rumors, you feel me? But did she really say like did she give a reaction to that whole Will Smith Chris Rock situation? Because I
Um,
seen a lot of articles
Yeah, I
that a lot
seen
of
people
people made
saying
it
she said, "I
fake.
wish she didn't do that" type shit.
Yeah,
It was out of pocket though, because it was like out of nowhere. Like, bro, you know somebody done joked on your woman's bald head before. Like, you know this ain't the first time, and I know you didn't slap everybody, but shit, maybe Chris Rock was just the one where he's like, "I'm tired of y'all always playing with me." But
I feel like that's what it was, kind of just to show everybody, because they had showed that same night before that whole situation with Chris Rock. Somebody did say something about her having entanglements or something like that, and he kind of let it slide, and they was joking and laughing about it. But I feel like it got to a point where he was just like, "All right, forget it."
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with them too, like I'm trying not to even pay attention to it for the simple fact that that's their business, A, but B,
that shit's
like,
hilarious. I don't
but
care.
B, Will Smith went from like being the Fresh Prince, like, so you already know like they probably had one of them, like, I don't wouldn't say polygamy, but like just open relationships back then, to now it being reversed, and then now he's like a simp, pretty much, or just calling it what it is. Like he has to cater to her, in every single matter, like basically. So it's kind of like shame on you, but like I mean, if that's what you want to do, really, that's what money does. Like when
What did
people getting
Future
these,
say? Future said
she for the
it's
he got that
streets.
$1 million. Uh, uh.
it's like it's kind of like in that situation, like if y'all heard the saying, like it's easy to keep her, like it's kind of like you get a divorce and like that shit's so complicated and it's so much, versus like you staying together and it's, you working it out, because at the end of the day, who you gonna find? You just gonna be screwing around with a bunch of girls at the end of the day, or a bunch of dudes, trying to find love when you already got kids and something there. So I think that's really the situation now for them. But I think they just then got too messy over the years, and everything is coming out, and that's how it is in Hollywood. So sucks to be them. Not really, because I got a bunch of money, but
I'm just
so
saying. But that's all we got for entertainment, and it definitely is entertaining as far as I'm concerned. Um, but yeah, you feel me? Prayers go out to them both. They both need it. And yeah, so when we gonna go ahead and move on with the podcast. Sports, we got anything for that?
oh yeah, Rockies home openers today. Which is like kind of crazy. It's like not the official home opener because there was a lockout and stuff, but it's still the home opener. So as far as that goes, they got Russell Wilson down there throwing a pitch, which is kind of cool just to give like cross branding, cross sports. That's always an important part of publicity. And yeah, so pretty much that'll be today in Colorado. So if you go downtown, don't go downtown whenever that game is going on because you're not gonna be able to get out of traffic. But besides that, everything's cool. Like as far as sports goes, it's like that time of the year to where it's just a lot of
Hey,
talking, watching.
is
Ain't
it
really
true?
much.
Somebody said that Russell Wilson used to play baseball in college, and the Rockies
Yeah,
was gonna draft him.
no, they did. Like so,
Oh,
it's the same. Like so in sports, like they can draft you, but like basically like you can tell them no or yeah. So like the same thing happened to the Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. I forgot who he got drafted by, but like they were pretty much gonna draft him. Like so, all of a lot of quarterbacks end up in that situation just because do you want to play quarterback or do you want to what I mean? It's really like do you want to play quarterback or baseball? In baseball there's so many people, like a lot of the times it's based on luck, to be honest with you, versus actual physical skills. Cause like even like if you a pitcher and the nigga hit your ball, like regardless, like that's more luck based, but it's skill on their part. You got to be even the highest skilled like players, like sometimes shit don't pan out. So um even though there's more money in baseball too and less injury factor, I mean I'm pretty sure he just loved football more. That goes for like Russell Wilson too. Another
that's
thing
crazy.
for sports though, so Mayweather about to box in Dubai. From what I was hearing, I don't know if y'all heard that,
Yeah, I heard of
He
but
that.
bought what?
He about to
Mayweather, he's
box this like rich, like this rich. You, I think a YouTuber like
nah,
Sheik
it's
dude.
it's one of his trainers.
He about to fight his trainer.
It's like yeah, it's like a former trainer, somebody that was in his like camp type, and he does YouTube now, like and shit. But yeah, like that shit's crazy. It's
It,
basically he's going to Dubai to get a new like another paycheck.
but is it gonna be a real fight or is it gonna be
It's exhibition.
an exhibition?
Yeah, everything he probably does now is gonna be exhibition. But like if you think about it, like Jake and Logan Paul pretty much opened that whole door up for exhibition because like now you can just go and do an exhibition fight and still get paid handsomely. So
That's crazy, bro.
yeah,
That's crazy. Mayweather got so much money. That stuff is crazy. But just another sports report. You feel me? The Lakers didn't make the playoffs, man. Trade Russell Westbrook, man.
man, get throw the whole team away.
Bro, we could have got DeMar DeRozan. He's going off.
Throw the
That's
whole team away.
crazy.
Shit, too
But
bad. So sad. They'll get it next year.
I know, bro. I need him another ring, bro.
Nah, he
My
gotta go
boy.
back to the East. He gotta go back to the East.
At this point, he could go to the Warriors for all I care. He
Nah,
need a
he gotta go to
ring.
Cleveland. He go to Cleveland.
Well, Steph need to come over there or something. But we gonna go ahead and move along with the podcast. You feel me? We got our hood politics on. What you got for us, my boy?
So for today, just really for real, just I was thinking the other day because yesterday I was out with my daughters and shit, and I was just thinking like, man, really for real, a lot of people don't be thinking about like how your actions affect people around you and shit. And
Mhm.
I was just thinking like some people don't give a fuck for real. Like when they moving and stuff like that, even with their kids or whatever, like whatever happens is what happens, I guess. But um, I was just thinking like, man, we really got to start being smarter and start just like making better decisions because, like I said, karma doesn't always come back to you per se. Sometimes that shit come back to your kids, your family. So you got to really just watch the way you moving because it doesn't affect just you. That shit affect a lot of others, like other people.
No, you definitely right on that. I didn't like, not saying I experienced it all firsthand, but like, a lot of people, they be doing the worst shit out in the streets, and the next thing you know, it's a burden on their family. Like, if you get killed, that's a burden on your family. That ain't a burden on you. You dead. Shit. Like, you know what I mean? Your family got to deal with that. And so, like, not saying that that's like that is your life, but like sometimes like people view it as selfish. As far as you get killed and your kids ain't got no father, your kids ain't got no mother, so people don't be understanding the situations they put themselves in. So a lot of the times you gotta make sure that you put yourself in the best situation, no matter if it's to succeed or just to stay out the way. Some people just gotta learn how to stay out the way.
So,
Yeah, for real.
fuck that for sure. All right. If there's nothing more on that, we got Mr. Controversy, Mr. Shade Room. What you got, man?
Man, like
Send that shit over.
I was pretty chill with the controversies today. I think the main thing right now is just watching, like, when you go out anywhere anymore, like nobody's wearing a mask. Like, you hear on the news, like basically they dropped the whole COVID-19 restriction. They dropped the whole thing. Period. Like, restrictions, whatever. Like, it's suspended right now. So like they even 7-Eleven took down their signs, unless they just lazy. But it's like, in my opinion, I think for COVID-19, like, that hit us out of nowhere, and like people never taken it serious. Like, that shit in America has not been taken serious, and like, just to like see that the government don't give a fuck anymore, like, it's kind of sad, just because like, if if this shit would have come back around in a huge wave again, like, people are just gonna be dying again. And so, even like the little pop-up shops where you go and get a vaccine, you can't do that no more. Like, people's getting vaccines and stuff, and that builds up immunity, no matter if you get it because you still got a vaccine or not. It's building up your immunity to the virus. So I just think it's kind of messed up that pretty much they're saying, well, if you get sick, you get sick, and we're not even gonna make you wear a mask anymore. Because I know me, like, sometimes I wear my mask, sometimes I don't, but sometimes I just wear it out of respect to others. Like, if I go to the church or something, like, I know it's older people in there, so if I was carrying it, I'm trying to be cautious of that.
Do y'all have the vaccine? Did y'all get it?
No, I didn't.
I had to get it because of like, at the time, like, even school restrictions, like, you couldn't go on campus, and a bunch of other stuff. And it's kind of like, if you don't get it, then you basically forfeit like whatever you need to do, like whether it was school, whether it was my internship, whether wherever I needed to go, like, that basically forfeited that. So I had to get it. In that regards,
Yeah.
do I regret getting it? I don't regret getting it, just because like I understand like the part it builds immunity. And after I got COVID, it's kind of like one of those things to where it's like I already caught this shit. Like, I already know how it feels. Like, getting it isn't gonna like technically make it worse on me. So I just thought of it that way. Like, at first we was all thinking, oh, they gonna put chips in us, but
Nah,
that
I
was
ain't.
not
I
that
don't
was
think
not
that
the
at all.
case.
I'm trying to like how you had to take it. So if I was in your situation, I'd have did the same. That's all I'm waiting for is until I have to take it.
It's just
Just the
like,
longer I wait, I feel like the better versions come out. You feel me? Right now, they like in the they
no,
in
you're right.
the testing stage. Like in a couple years, it's gonna be like, hey, you are a loved one taking the first vaccines, well, you are owe some money. I ain't trying to be on that list. You feel me? I'm trying to just be on a list
No, I
that
get you.
they like. We
I
got that shit right.
just think about it. If they was like, well, bro, you if you want a box, you gotta take it.
Yeah, I'm
Then
gonna
you
take
gonna
it. Oh
take it.
God,
You know what
I'm
I'm
taking
saying?
it.
And it's like one of them situations. And I get what you're saying because I was along those same lines. Like these motherfuckers is using us as squirrels and rats and shit to test this shit out.
I already know we eventually got to take it. I'm just waiting till they like it's either, like in your situation. So that's what I'm waiting for.
But now too, like I said, they took away the pop up shops and all that, or like where they have them at like the library and stuff. So now, like really, if you don't got Medicaid or nothing, and you going into the hospital trying to get a vaccine, you gonna have to you potentially might have to pay for it in the next couple months, versus like when it was free. So that's another thing to consider.
Oh yeah, that shit low key expensive.
Yeah.
100. But all right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our main discussion. End off the podcast. We got fentanyl in our community. Now, just doing a little bit of research on this topic.
That's a big one. A big bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, www.gop.gov, America's fentanyl crisis. So, so much fentanyl and fentanyl-related poisons are flooding the U.S. The Drug Enforcement Administration issued its first public safety alert in 6 years, warning the public about fake pills laced with lethal doses of fentanyl. On February 18, 2022, the emergency class-wide schedule order for fentanyl substances is set to expire. So, boom, definitely on the rise. You feel me? For all my people out there taking pills or whatnot, one,
Yeah,
stop.
for all my people out there taking pills.
Bro, because unfortunately, I do know a lot of people
Hey, no,
that
I know some pill
just be out
popping
here taking
animals too. That's
pills.
why that shit's funny. But that's out
I'm
of pocket
saying
though.
exactly. So one, stop. But if you're gonna do it,
Yeah, slap
you,
yourself.
I'm saying like definitely make sure you got a reliable source. But like, who's reliable nowadays? You feel me? Everybody's just trying to make money. So my suggestion is to stay off the pills. Amen.
It's just because this generation pushes like doing drugs as being cool. Like that shit's not
Mhm.
gangster. Doing drugs is not cool. But
You know,
a lot of people do drugs, and when you get older, you really realize that like shit's crazy, bro.
it's crazy for me. I feel bad for like the people that at one point in time like loved drugs and just thought drugs were cool. Like, oh, I'm gonna do some. They be like, oh, I'm about to do some coke or like whatever, or pop one of these like pills, and it's like they never thought about like just the abuse of drugs then, like especially like a lot of people would be like, man, I got a stroke, man, like I used to people who smoke crack, but now they got a stroke and heart problems. Like you never thought about that shit when you was doing this stuff. So now that you got these issues, you all of a sudden worried. Like it's kind of like one of those things with me. Like I just feel like bad for people that get caught up in that situation. As far as those blues and them pills go, I remember listening to like a couple like years ago, like when this nigga Peso. I don't know if y'all heard of Peso. He's like a Texas rapper. But
Yeah,
this
the
nigga
Mexican
in one,
rapper.
yeah, in one of his verses, this nigga said, "Ran out of H, now I'm serving fentanyl." I said, basically, like, basically, these pills are giving people pills laced with fentanyl are laced on purpose, right? Like,
Yeah.
so people are smoking these pills on the trains, on the buses, wherever they can get into a private place. They call it private, but in a private place to smoke it. So it's kind of like one of them things to where y'all went from like all these hardcore drugs that y'all used to do that were safe, like you know what I mean, the crack, the
That
what
shit
else
ain't
they
safe. That shit
hey
is
Yeah,
hey
definitely.
man,
facts.
they was doing the crack and the other stuff. Now they doing fentanyl and meth. Like everything's laced with that. So I feel bad for people in that regard. Like they went from the the chill shit to just extreme. Like
Hey,
dude
you
was
want to know
meth out walking around.
what's crazy? Is look, I've grown up around drug addicts my whole life, bro. Like I've been up around drug addicts, so like, and I can't stand them, but like at the same time, I got to be grateful because they, you know what I'm saying? They, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have like survived growing up straight up. So like that, that's the only reason. But it's funny to me, like when like you was talking about like all these hardcore drugs, like I've been around drug addicts, like people that I used to smoke weed with, and then they start doing hard shit. And now if you would try to smoke weed with them, they'd be like, nah, that shit fucks me up. And I'd be thinking in my head, like, that other shit don't be fucking you up, but now
Yeah.
you afraid to hit some goddamn weed. It's really crazy how like the drugs change people. Cause hey man, that fentanyl shit ain't no joke. Like that shit is like there's babies dying. Like there actually just a couple days ago I seen on the news or whatever some dude out and I some dude and woman I think it was in Thornton. They just went to jail because their baby was found unresponsive after like 12 hours, and she had fentanyl in her system. So like even just touching that shit be killing kids and all that shit. Like that shit's not no joke.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
I was saying, smoking blues, like that shit. That shit is crazy, man. Like I don't even know like how to describe it. The first time I seen somebody doing that shit, I was like, "Is y'all okay? Like, y'all need to like stop with this shit, cause like you literally tweaking over here. Like, it's
Yeah, hey,
crazy."
bro, that shit is not no game, bro. My mama be doing that shit and shit, and like ever since she started doing that shit, my mom be walking like sideways. Like it's hard to explain, bro. She be like walking sideways, bro, and that shit be like, it be funny, but it be embarrassing too, though. But at the same time, though, like that shit is no joke. Like that shit really changes people.
Right.
Yeah, I think when I looked at it too, I thought of like the idea of drugs. So like, a lot of people use drugs as a antidepressant. They try to get away from their situation, and a lot of the times people get so caught up in these extreme drugs to where they just, I mean, with it. I'm not saying that like they should die or nothing, but like it gets to the point to where it's like, do you care about your life, or like are you trying to take these drugs to die? Like some people take so many, it's like, bro, like you might not have woken up yesterday. Like let's try to get you some help, because like honestly, like I didn't have like personal friends doing that shit. Like it goes from any type of drug, but like just like I didn't lost friends over that. So you
There's
gotta
like
you
three
gotta
ways you
be
can become
careful.
a crackhead. Is one trauma, two recreational use, and then three like medicational. Like a lot of like the government and shit don't want to admit that shit, bro. But they be fucking putting people on a lot of these pain medications that got opiates in it, which is the same thing. Because fentanyl basically is like Mamba. It's like
Hmm.
what Mamba the weed is. Fentanyl is the heroin, so it's like synthetic heroin basically. So fucking these people be on these medications, and then after they're done with the medication, they can't get no more prescriptions. They go and they go get it the other way, which is either heroin or they go get like them pills and shit. So like
Hmm.
a lot of, and then some people really just be doing it recreationally use. Cause like I said, this generation, like with all these new stars and shit, talking about like the rappers talking about like popping perks and popping drinking lean and doing all this shit like that. So sometimes people just be partying, and before you know it, you be partying so much. Because people don't understand is like even with lean and all that shit, like opiates, it causes your body to become like dependent on it. So you go through withdrawals. There's certain drugs that give you withdrawals. So that's the reason why a lot of people go back to doing the drug and shit in it. And people don't understand that even doing it recreationally, like just trying to have fun and a good time, eventually you're gonna turn to a base hit. So
Facts.
you gotta just get that shit together. Like look at Lil Wayne, bro. It's dying slowly. Straight the fuck up, and that's just from him being a drug addict.
Dread by dread.
I'm weak.
Exactly. We see his life fade away with his hair. That
I'm
shit
like,
crazy.
this nigga, but
His
Wayne for
final
real is the
album, he gonna
goat,
be
but
bald.
that nigga need to, but shit. I mean, shit. Hey, in my opinion, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Right.
But I just think, like you said, he don't represent himself well anymore as far as physically. Like you can tell physically, like he just not there from all the seizures and all that he had. Like it really did a number on him. I don't know how he's living now, but physically he don't look good. Like as far as that goes, but maybe that's just because maybe I think he bought in too, so that might be the reason why his dreads just like that. And he's just trying to
I'm
keep
weak.
that reputation. No, for real. Like I think
I
he's
remember that.
balding, but
Uh, I remember that interview where he had knocked over his cup and he's like, "Oh shit, drop my lean." That's still one of my favorite. That's if you have me weak. But Aja, did you have anything on this?
Um, just going back to what Aaron was saying as far as like escaping to a certain extent, I know about 3 people who have overdosed within the last 2 years. And most, not even most of them, all of them was in my age range. One was like a year older than me. Other than that, we was all the same age. And so it is like, people are our generation goes through a lot of different stuff. And then we have some of us have young parents, some of us have parents that may not be the best role models. And so my generation doesn't know how to handle all of that. And so, with them being stressed out, being depressed, having, all these different um, mental health issues, as far as like anxiety, the different, I can't think of them all right now, but the, mental health issues, that is an escape. But like, it just, once they start, it's hard to stop. And so it's like when, it's hard to step in to help them because it's like either they don't want to talk about it or they don't see the problem with it. It's just a sad thing within our generation. I don't see many, older people doing it. But even like middle schoolers, it's different because they're vaping, but it's still, on the rise of stuff that they are going to end up getting into. And so it's like,
That
how
shit
do we
be
stop it? How do we help it? How do we, because when I was coming up in middle school, people was like using them pens, weed pens. But now they're vaping. Now, some of them is on different stuff. And it's just like, where do we draw the line? And, the reason why I bring up young parents is some parents don't have that true mother father relationship with their child. They're friends with their child, or they don't really deal with their child on that level. So without the positive and proper role models, it's like kids are lost. And so it's hard to really, help or change or whatever when we don't know how to do it ourselves, and then our parents may not know how to do it. It's like a cycle that I don't really see changing unless we figure out how to change it. So I don't know.
I think you're right about that. I think the biggest impact I didn't seen was when I seen a crackhead turn from crack to meth or from crack to blues. Like that shit's crazy. How like motherfuckers just they do whatever. Like they don't think about they don't think about the drug. They just see how resourceful it is. Like
Mhm.
how quick can they get something to get high? Like me personally, like I'm not a person that relies on that. Like I enjoy life. But just overall, like just being out of my comfort zone, like I can't do that. Like that's why I don't drink and all that other stuff. Just because like in any situation, like I'm trying to live at the end of the day. And if I go out and I'm drinking and something happen and I'm like incoherent completely, like that's just not cool. Like I said, you pretty much let down your whole family. Like it puts a burden on them if something happens to you. And it's the same thing like with drinking and driving, like all that other stuff. Like I said last week, like I seen somebody get killed in a car accident. Like one of my friends, like she wasn't drinking and driving, but like it was definitely late at night and stuff. And I guess she said, from what she told me, I'm glad she's alive. But she told me that somebody just left the truck in the middle of the fucking street. like a black truck, and I guess like they said it stalled out, but she wasn't paying attention, and I think she said she was driving and she didn't see nothing, and then she went down to change like the station on a radio or something, and she just boom like hit the truck like straight up. So like that shit's crazy. Like as far as that goes, like I don't know what people be tweaking about. Like people don't think like they was probably high. I don't know like if she was drunk or you know what I mean. I can't say nothing about nobody's situation, but like I definitely know like if it was me in that situation or when my car stalled out, we gotta get this car to the side. Let's push it, you know, to the side to where it's out of the you know area of people. Like let's put the hazards on something. But people
Mhm.
don't be thinking. People just be high and doing shit.
Or, but nah, just to speak a little more on, this generation.
These little kids just need to stop being crackheads. Period.
I'm saying, I won't release any specifics about the place, but man, there was this kid that I know personally, and he was caught doing meth, and I'm just like how, like, what's going on? Like, I feel like that's something that you gotta like graduate to, like, how
These
you
kids
just
is
talk
jumping
about.
off the porch into the deep end. They like, fuck
I'm
it, put the needle
saying,
to my arm. You like, damn,
I'm
really?
saying, I'm
Like,
like,
let's go. It's time to get high.
I'm
Half
saying,
Like these is
like
bruh,
some
we said
junkies for
before,
real. Fuck. Where the fuck did you learn that shit from? You watching
I'm
too much football.
saying,
half these kids like they need a gentle talking to. You know, they might be able to get some knowledge from like a gentle like you know conversation. So
nah, that stuff was so beyond me, man. I was completely shook, honestly. But I mean, if nobody has anything else to say, we all good. We all good.
Yeah.
Say less. So at this time, you feel me? I'd like to invite you all. First and foremost, thank you for tapping into the podcast. Again, Fridays at 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. I'd like to invite you all to please leave a like and comment. Thank you. But make sure to follow our pages. We have our Make a Chess Move dash Macklin. Then go on to our Make a Culture Move dash Macklin. Check out our YouTube at Make a Chess Move dash Macklin. This will be where we do all of our podcasts from at least like about May type stuff. So make sure to tap in with us. Our virtual artist storytelling is in the works. Definitely get that going soon. Then check out our website at www.makeachessmove.org. If you scroll to the bottom, you will see a donations tab. Appreciate you. And then our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest is all Macam303. Make sure y'all cop some Macam merchandise, some Macam apparel. And with that being said, y'all Macam out there, man. Peace.